Welcome to Crotoni Entertainment. I'm Chris.
I'm Bree.
Happy Valentine's Day. We're painting Gasket and Archerina from Power Rangers. Here's the grid.
Because today's romantic.
It is. It's a romancy style episode as we start with our Runefang Steel. We're going to go ahead and just...
The most romantic of colors?
It's up there.
Okay.
It's like top 16.
Okay. Yeah, that works.
We should have a bracket. And
a bracket of the most romantic colors?
So we painted them Runefang Steel. I did that off camera because it's boring. Then we're going to go ahead and paint them with our known oil shade. Just kind of get that all over. It really doesn't matter if you hit the cloth areas. They do have a couple of cloth areas. Like Gasket has that little...
his capelet?
Yeah, his little capelet that he's going to fight bulls with. And he's got like a fancy bow on his chest there. And you don't have to get the wash on that. It doesn't really matter. Doesn't matter if you do, doesn't matter if you don't.
Bow. I think that's actually supposed to be like a cravat.
A cravat. A Lenny cravat? Yeah. Anyway.
Yep, that happened.
Anyway, so we're painting Archerina and Gasket today because like we did last year where we had a Valentine's Day Ranger game in the house where we played all couples.
Yes.
We are doing, as I've mentioned previously, February is for lovers. So we're doing all couples this month. We did Rita to start February with, and we've done Zed previously.
Yeah.
We've got Archerina and Gasket going together here today.
Yeah.
We've got Scorpina going next week because she pairs up with Goldar. And we've got our final secret couple for the last week of the month that I think you're all going to like. And that's going to close out February for the Here's the Good type stuff. So there's nothing super fancy here, but what we're going to do is we're going to play with shiny metallics today.
Ooh, shiny.
We did some of this with the Metallic Armor Rangers. We're going to do more of it here because I think there's a lot going on with the ability to manipulate metallics with a paint line that I may be phasing out of my life here soon. But let's paint them both.
Woo!
So here we go. Over on Gasket's side, we're going to start with our contrast paint Orc Flesh. And over here on Archerina's side, we're actually going to start with Blood Angel's Red contrast paint. So on Archerina's corset there, the area that kind of is the front of her stomach is actually red on some of the reference photos I used, whereas the rest of it is pink. And on Gasket, obviously, he's got a lot of green. He's got his green pantaloons and whatnot. Mm-hmm. So what we did, because we wanted a really controlled color here, is I'm dipping a thin paintbrush into these contrast paints, and I'm actually then running the paintbrush along the open lid of the contrast paint to take a lot of it off. We're going the exact opposite of the motto of contrast paints, because when contrast paints came out, you remember what they said? They said, one thick coat.
Right.
You do one thick coat to do your stuff. Well, we own a controlled coat. This Orc Flesh is actually a moderate to dark green. Mm-hmm. We want a much more lighter green as we go into the Volupus Pink on Archerina's side there. We're going to do the rest of her, whatever the crap it is Archerina's wearing. I don't even know what's going on there. She's just like some kind of creepy robot baby doll, and it creeps me out, honestly. It is. It's very creepy. So we're going to fast forward here on Gasket here, and that's what the green is going to look like. When we use very controlled, we can get this nice light-colored green rather than a really, really dark green. And we're going to switch to Warp Lightning because that's a lighter shade of the green, and that's going to go on his sword. Because, again, looking at the reference photos that I was looking at for Gasket, his sword is actually a distinctly different shade of green than the Robo clothing that he's got going on.
Yeah. Robo.
So I keep hearing rumors that this Army Painter Speed Paint that's coming out is far superior to Games Workshop Contrast, and it's half the price, which you can't argue with. I'm looking forward to it. Its official release date should be, I think some of it's releasing sometime this month, but then I think like the Mega Set is releasing in March. And I do plan on putting some money aside for the Mega Set because it's going to be 23 colors.
Mega Set.
It's going to be very mega. So anyway, on Gasket's side, we're doing something we're also going to do with Archerina. We're not at that point on Archerina yet, but we're pulling out the Nasdrag Yellow. You've seen this before. If you haven't seen this before, if this is one of your newer videos, this is a great technique for... Oh yeah, I guess thanks for coming.
Wow. Wow.
Manners and stuff. There's a cheese plate by the door. So we got this Nasdrag Yellow as we finished up with the Volupus Pink on Archerina's side. And this Nasdrag Yellow over a washed silver makes a phenomenal gold highlight color. It works out really, really well.
It does.
Now on Archerina's side, we're jumping to our next color, which is a very, very light blue-gray. In this case, we're using Fenris Gray. We use the same thing on Gasket in a minute. Because there are areas on both Archerina and Gasket that are white. So we're using this blue-gray because it's colder. I could use a standard gray. I could use a cream color as a base for my white. I could use the Apothecary White contrast paint. But this Fenris Gray that has this hint of blue in it is just colder, and we're painting machines right now. So I want that coldness in there. Now,
living machines, though, because it's pretty kind of considered that, like, they gave birth to both.
No, they built them. They ordered them from Space IKEA. And built them with an Allen wrench.
I'd believe that.
Built Prince Sprocket with an Allen wrench and a Bruin microwave.
Oh.
So anyway, Gasket's moving into the Fenris Gray as we zip ahead on Archerina. She finishes the Fenris Gray, and she's going to the Nazareth Yellow. We've also got a Corn Red coming out for Gasket, because he does have a red bullfighting cape. So the inside of his cape is white. He's got some other white spots. So everywhere's supposed to be white, paint with Fenris Gray. Everywhere's supposed to be red, do with the Corn Red. The Archerina, we're going over the gold things. Grab yourself a nice reference photo. This really doesn't take long on either of these minis. We decided to go with the metallic greens and the metallic pinks because they're robots.
Yeah.
If you actually look at reference photos of the costumes, they don't actually look shiny and metallic. They look like they're painted a solid color. Like his look like they're painted solid green. They don't look metallic green. I think this looks cooler.
Yeah, I
think for a playing piece, it looks cooler. I think the intent was to have a metallic green because he is a robot. So that's what we're doing there. But as we're applying these colors here, there's a lot to look forward to. We got to come up with a theme for March, honestly. We don't have a theme for March.
Madness?
Well, we could do a March Madness tournament bracket, but we don't get enough comments on our video to really get answers for these bracket type questions.
I just wanted to do Madness.
Just Madness. Do Cthulhu, Power Rangers Cthulhu minis?
Yeah.
So we're pulling out our Vallejo Dead White. You can use any white that you have. I would, again, as I've said multiple times, steer clear of Citadel White. Citadel White is just the worst. Just the worst white I've ever worked with in my life. It's absolutely disgusting. No matter what type of container I've tried to put it in, I've had it in their little flip pots, and it's like as soon as you open it, it dries out. I've actually moved some to a dropper bottle in the past, and that somehow still clumps up and dries, which doesn't even make sense because those dropper bottles are so much more superior. And it wasn't one bad pot. I probably went through 5 or 6 pots of that was ceramite white, I think it's called, before I was like, screw this isn't working anymore. The Vallejo Dead White is my personal favorite white. Yeah,
it's a great.
I've also worked with the Army Painter Matte White. It's okay, but it's thick. Now, I bought mine before the whole fiasco where Army Builder was putting way too much medium in their paints and making them all runny. But my Army Painter White is just a little too thick for my tastes. But this Vallejo Dead White is just chef's kiss perfection here.
Yeah.
So we're highlighting all the spots that we did Fenris Gray with white. We're leaving a little of Fenris Gray visible underneath, as per usual with any highlight. There's nothing fancy, no new technique we're doing here. Kind of the newest technique isn't even new. We've done the metallic colors before, but really I'm just emphasizing controlled amount of contrast paint on your brush to do them. And man, that green is really, really striking. The pink's okay. The pink has I think it's got a higher pigment amount, believe it or not, because even really, really well mixed with some medium and extremely light amount, it still got a little bit streaky, whereas we got a really smooth look out of the green here.
Well, didn't we kind of have the bit of the streaky issue with Kimberly as well?
No, it was Kat.
Oh, Kat, when we did her.
Mm-hmm. So we got the Evil Sun Scarlet. It was Kat because we did a metallic Pink Ranger, and Kimberly never had metallic armor.
That's true.
That was after Kimberly's time, as I recall. That was when they had shark cycles. Those were awesome.
Those were pretty amazing. The shark cycles are good stuff.
Yeah, like what was that all about? I think we mentioned to Jonathan Ying that we'd like to see shark cycles, and he did react positively to that. I don't think they're ever going to give permission to do those, but he seemed on board. So here's this blue. You remember this contrast blue? I don't know what it is.
Blue.
I don't know what it is. It's not the Ultramarines blue. It's the other blue.
It's the other blue.
I was doing a favor for a friendly local hobby shop, which turned out to not be a friendly local hobby shop, and we don't go there anymore for various reasons, but we're not getting into that here today. I bought it as a favor to them because they didn't know really how to sell it to people missing a label. And I said, you know what? I know what it is. I know what it looks like. I'll buy it. And I don't know what it's called. I wasn't making videos at the time. But anyway, we did a couple blue spots on Archerina here. She's got like a blue thing on her little her garter piece. Is that what it was? Garter?
It's a garter, yes.
And then her she got a little gem in her little crown that's supposed to be red, but I decided to do it blue because, why not?
Actually, sir, that's not a crown.
Tiara.
Nope, it's not a tiara. Oh my gosh.
Headband. Black Templar on her hair. Okay, what's it called?
That would actually probably be a diadem because it...
A diadem.
Yeah, it's because it sits on the front.
Is it pronounced diadem or diadem?
Diadem? Diadem.
I just pronounce it diadem because one of my favorite Diablo items was the Diadem of Power. It was a good armor.
It could be a tiara. It just doesn't have the kind of come around, the head part that you usually expect from a tiara.
It's Valentine's Day. I should know what women's jewelry is called, but I bought Brie a dishwasher for Valentine's
Yeah,
Day.
you did. Yeah.
And 2 new tires.
Yeah.
I doubled down on the bad husband gift giving this year.
It's okay. You got
things that I bought for myself.
You got Wookiees.
I got some Abaddon Black next going on both these bases here. As believe it or not, we're pretty much wrapped up with these minis because they actually go really quickly together. Yeah, I actually got quite a bit of new Star Wars Legion stuff lately, so we're going to be starting to do some Star Wars Legion videos here soon. I'm prepping the bases right now before I do the paints on camera because I've done these. It's the lava bases. I've done the lava bases in a video in the past. One of our tips and tricks video before we got our Hero Quest box back when we were kind of doing that series, and we may start doing some of those again too. But it's that lava base technique as I do the Ember Orange on the sides of their base as well. So there's going to be some Star Wars Legion videos coming up. I got a box of Clone Troopers. I got Yoda, Anakin, Maul, Super Tactical Droid. We have another box of Stap Riders that I never got built previously for you. We got Wookiees and more Wookiees and a Wookiee helicopter.
And then some more Wookiees. Wookiees.
But yeah. Oh no.
What you did?
I have 2 little clips out of order. We were just putting orange on Archerina's base, and now we're just starting to put orange on Archerina's base.
And you did it where you have this whole thing where it's split up.
There are worse clips I could have gotten out of order. I actually had 2 Archerinas on screen during the editing. Guys, I actually edited, okay?
Yeah.
There took some editing. It wasn't complicated editing, and I'm lazy, but anyway, Archerina and Gasket are ready to go.
Look at them.
I'm probably going to do another coat of the orange. But anyway, like and subscribe for more content. Hit the bell button for notification. We'll see you next week for more romantic Valentine's month stuff.
Bye.